Apparently, I wasn't recording. Okay, yeah. So just a recap. Just teach you guys how to merge pull requests and how to resolve issues. Okay, so I look at the repository, I scroll down. If the repository is well written, right, you can see he went the extra mile to actually get documentaries. So I commend that, and he basically just hijacked this table here. Yeah, but so the first thing I'll check is I would see if he actually implemented all these limits. But the first mistake I can spot is the instructions. So this instruction will not give a proper workspace. If someone should follow these instructions, it won't give a proper workspace. This is what I mean. So your instruction says sudo apps update, all of this. It's fine. This part of it, replace humble with your distro, should not be inside the code fence. It shouldn't be inside the code fence. Code fence is such that I can copy anything in the code fence and I can basically execute it directly on terminal. And that kind of defeats the purpose, because if I should, I mean, you probably know where I'm driving at. If I should have this now, I also copy it together. The thing is, when you write documentations, assume the next person is very lazy, right? Because doing something like this last line would resolve into an error, so it should not be part of the code fence. So there are two ways I can do this, right? I spot the error. We are collaborating on the project. I can come to the issues section and I can say, okay, hey, there's an issue with your repository, and okay, I would say the code fence of the first command. I mean, this is a long title, but not everything is completely official on GitHub anyways. My description would be the code fence in the first command in your readme.md includes a command that is actually let's say an instruction, like an instruction, let's say non-command. Okay, and when you're opening an issue, try and make it as relatable as possible so you can understand. So it'd be like, the last line should not be there. So I'm guessing if he reads this, it's something he can do. So he makes the changes on his side and he updates the repository directly. So now he has an issue on the repo. The next thing I would do is I would clone it. That's not the mistake I saw initially. The mistake is in the workspace. Here is just, this is just like an oversight. Probably he was supposed to write this after or before, but the mistake is actually here, and I'll show you where the mistake is. So if I should, okay, let me clone the repository. Let me use I would create a new folder, say student tax 4, and I would open this folder in terminal, then git clone. I would have the folder, right? So his instructions was cd. Let me make this bigger so you would see something. His instructions was cd you refactor robot arm here, and then after doing that, what did he say? He said build, right? He said build. Now if I should run ls, you can see that this is the package. This is the content of the package. Something is missing. A workspace is actually missing. So if I should actually run corcon build symbolic link install, it's going to work, but then you're going to have this messed up arrangements. You can see your build, you can see your install, you can see your log. Everything is inside the package. Whereas, in case you have forgotten, an actual and like a proper workspace would look like where's the closest workspace I have? Is this, do I have workspace here? No, I don't have workspace here. What's the closest project that I have workspace? This, okay. A proper workspace would have the build folders outside. None of these. Okay, something like this would have the build, install, and the log, and then probably the source folder. So you just a way to keep it organized, because right now we have everything down here. So basically, what this guy has now is a package and a workspace like sandwiched together. So how do you actually fix something like this? It's a matter of fixing your README, because we're in this mess because of your README, not because of what you pushed. What you pushed is correct, but your README skipped a step. So let me undo the build. If I undo the build, so we are back to how we were initially. What I will do is this. If I want to make the change, I can still go to his repository and create an issue and be like, hey, this is what I found out. But this is a bit more difficult to explain, and it's easier for me to just do it myself. So I would clone his repository. I would fork the repository actually, so that I can make changes on my side. And I'm guessing a lot of you guys have this name, so I would have to put some other identifier to it. Abdullahi. Okay, and I'll just describe it for Abdullahi. I'll create the fork. So now I have a fork, right? And I'm going to copy my own fork now. So in this side, I have his own, right? So just so that I won't get confused, because I don't want to edit his own directly. I can't edit his own. I can edit his own directly, but I can't push it directly. So what I will do instead is let me delete his own, just to be sure I don't have any issues. And then I would clone my own fork of his own repository, because I know I can push to this one. So yeah, it's the same thing, right? But what would I do differently? What I would do differently is to go to his README, right? I would open his README. I can open with VS Code. I think that would be more relatable for everybody. So I would open his code here. Trust the author. This is his README, right? And what I would do is there's something he skipped. What did he skip actually? In his instruction, I said after cloning the repository, after creating the new directory, the workspace, the part to create the workspace is what he skipped. So what I would do is I would put number 3. I can say create the workspace and build the Rust 2 package. And now what I'll do is creating the workspace now would be something like make directory. So I will do it this way. Because of the way his package is structured, it changes for different packages. Well, because of the way his package is structured, I would create the workspace in step 2, because I just foresaw that creating it in step 3 would cause an issue. So before you clone, make directory. Let's call it, since just to maintain homogeneous naming, URM7 workspace, right? So we create it, and then after creating it, we want to clone your package inside the workspace. So we are going to change directory, right? Change directory into there. before we clone, and then finally change directory into the package, right? And now we are inside the package by virtue of this command, this second command. We are now inside the package. What we can do is we can choose to, when we want to build the Rust package, we can choose to leave the package and go into the workspace with this command, or we can keep things simple by not going into the workspace, sorry, going into the package at all. So what happens is you create the workspace, you go into the workspace, you clone, and then since you've cloned, you are now outside the workspace, you're outside the package but in the workspace. And the next thing you do is you run on build. I'll show you how it all plays out. Let me push the code, and then push the code out. I would call this edits included workspace to readme.md. So you would actually see the difference when we follow the new readme. So I'll just refresh this, yeah, and I have a new readme. Okay, so the new readme now, let me delete the previous things I had. You know, I have a repository already here, so let me go back. This is the repository. Let me delete the repository now, so I don't have the repository again. Let me follow the readme to show you that, okay, I've actually rectified the issue. I can just copy this one time, and if I should paste it once, if I do ls now, you notice like I have a workspace now. Like at this point, it was just student tax 2, tax 4. And after running the whole command, I suddenly have a workspace. I'm now in a workspace. So if I should take you outside the workspace, if I do ls, you see there's a workspace now. And then you go into the workspace. That's where you are, like that's where you see your package. So at least now you are outside. And then the next thing you can do is you can now actually run the second command, which is to build. And after building, we have something slightly cleaner. We have build, install log, and then we have a package. Okay, so this is one thing you can do. Another thing, another common thing we'd see, this one in particular, it's because I know we have only one package, right? But there are cases where you have more than one packages, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You probably will not want all of them littered here, so you would have a source folder. Okay, so what I will do in this case is, hold up. Okay, what I will do in this case is I would come here. This is the command that makes the that creates the workspace. So I can say create a workspace and a source, and then I would pass a flag p. The p I'm passing is, it's Linux administration command. It says create the parent. I don't know, it's a long story. When if you don't run it, if you run it without p, you won't be able to create the source command, the source folder, because the source folder depends on the workspace folder, and the assumption is we don't have the workspace folder. So p says create the workspace folder first before the source folder. So just in case you see it anyway. So sometimes we'll see it like this, and then would cd into the source, right? Because we want to clone the package into the source. So now we are in the source. After cloning the package into the source, would ensure to leave the source back into the workspace. So that is cd dot dot. We have this, we are in the source at the moment. We clone. We have folder in the source. We just keep one back up to the workspace. And I'll show you how this will give you different results. Okay, let's see the URL code. Readme. Da. At this point, this particular file I am messing around with does not exist because I've deleted it. So I have to get the new one. Documents, students, tax 4. Oh, we have the workspace. We have this. Do we have a Git here? Yeah, we have a Git here. We have a Git here. So I can open this README. I can this builds the repository. And someone is trying to join. Basit. Okay, admit. Okay, German has sent it. Okay. So what do I want to do at the moment? Ls. I want to I want to go back one step up, ls. I want to remove everything in the folder because I'm having duplicates. Okay, so I would then proceed to I'll go back here. First, let me drop this here. Okay. So I'll go back here. I will this is my fork, so I can this is what I'm supposed to be cloning. So I would clone this just quickly so I can make the appropriate change with the source. I would proceed into it. I would open VS Code and I'll go back here because I dropped something in the chat that I need. Then I will come back here. I will open the README. Yeah, so this is what I need to change. I mean, it's you might think who's going to stumble upon your GitHub or your package. But like, you're going to probably make a post. You're going to probably put the GitHub repo out there. People will definitely look at it. Like, I'm sure 1, 2, 3 people. Not to mention when you apply for things. So we put in quite a lot of time into repositories. Do I do this all the time? No, I don't. Sometimes it can get very tiring, but it should be something we should try and like live up to. Okay, added source. Let me say workspace stroke source to readme the md commits. So I'll push that, and now let's test it. Let's see if it creates a better workspace for us. So I would, for the sake of transparency, I would again delete the file, the repo, and I would have to reclone it. All right, so I just hit refresh, and did it change? Yeah, it changed. So let's confirm that that is the right thing to do. Okay, we go again. We clone, git clone, And then we are here. Okay, ls cd, no, git clone. Hold on, I'm not supposed to clone. I'm supposed to try and follow the instructions, not do it from my head. So I will delete it again. Now let's follow the instructions. We're trying to assume this guy doesn't know anything about repositories or about Rust or something. So copy this. Then how do we know we are doing something proper? If at the end of the day we have a proper workspace. So we copy this. Now if I ls, we have a proper workspace. We have build, install, log, source. And if I ls the source, then we have the package. So that's a proper workspace. If I ls the source and the package, then we have the actual stuff you committed, your CMake list. So basically, there is no need to commit build, install, log. That's what I was saying in the previous class. No need to commit all of that because these are things you can easily generate with your README. And this guy did an almost perfect example of it. So just now, you can see by just copying the things that are here, we don't have to bother. I don't need to wrap my head around how your work is structured. So just copy. Now let's check if the final stuff works. Aha. Now, why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work? We've built, we've sourced. No, we followed the instruction on the repository. So now I'd have to debug it. And many times when I'm working and I stumble upon a repository that is good, but has issues with the README, it's kind of annoying because now I have to spend time fixing the repository instead of just working, and time is most likely not on my side. So now let's see, why did it fail? What is he doing per se? Present work directory description. He's using description, but did he mention description anywhere? Did he mention description anywhere in his code or anywhere in the README? He did not. But he said the URDF file must exist under description. Yeah, he said that, which is a plus. But now, am I the one that is going to start moving your repository around to find out where to put what? So let me see. I know what to do, but let me see. Would somebody just automatically know what to do? Now the person has to look for this URDF file. All right, I have to start looking for this URDF file. Where is the URDF file? You said it has to be under this part, but I would have to now start looking for the URDF file, and then after I look for the URDF file, I'd have to now move it to that part. I'd have to create a new part for it. So it's not the best way to go about it, right? What you're basically asking me to do is to look for your URDF file. Your URDF file is inside URDF, clearly. So that's your URDF file. And you are saying that the file must exist under this part. Your factory URDF. I want to actually show you guys that his instruction is quite clear. If you know what you're doing, the instruction is quite clear. It means I have to create a step above URDF. I have to create description. But what you're saying is, in the folder that has URDF, in this URDF folder, I should create description. That's what you're saying. The problem with that is, if we go above the URDF folder, what we have is, see the URDF folder here, right? The folder that has this URDF folder is a package folder. So what you are trying to say is, I should go here, I can do ls, And then I should create a new folder called UXAM description. That way you're saying make directory description. Now, in that description folder, let me go into the description folder. I should now create a URDF folder. That's what you are saying. Make directory URDF. Why are you preventing me from making from doing that? Okay. Okay, yeah. So make directory URDF. So now we have our URDF. Then you are telling me I should copy that is your own repository. I should now go and copy the URDF from the previous location into the new location, right? And if I am to do that on the spot, I would go into your URDF. Now I'm in your URDF. There's nothing in your URDF folder now. And then I would have to copy. This would be tricky. I would copy from I can do present work directory. I would copy from the present work directory. I would go a step upwards. I would go another step upwards. I'm sure the stress you would actually give me. And then I would go into UFactory. And then I would go into URDF. In the UFactory arm, this demands some level of I'll go into URDF, right? And in URDF, what will I do? What will I do in URDF now? I'll now have to get the name of your file, which is UFactory. Sure. UFactory exam.URDF. There's almost no guarantee this will work. There's a reason why. And then I'll output it here. No part like that. No part like that. Okay, so now this is a bit tricky to do. But I can do it this way instead. I can move into your factory arm, and then I can move into your URDF, and then I can, since I'm in your URDF, I can now copy from here, but then I have to still backtrack. I have to still backtrack it. I still have to backtrack it either ways. I backtrack twice. Description. Backtracking twice into description. And then I would now have to move into the URDF. Yeah. So good. Let's assume now that we are in the workspace, right? Let's do what he said now, because now he has put us into the stress and we've done one part of it. So now let's see if after the stress, what he's actually saying would work. After his stress, now I'm going back to the workspace folder because that's where we are working. I'm going back to the workspace folder. Now it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Hold on, my laptop is not charging. Okay, it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? It doesn't work because I have to go into the source folder because there was no source folder in the repo we created. So I have to go into the source folder first. Then and only then will. Okay, and now it doesn't work. It doesn't work regardless. Okay. Now, why does this happen at times? I have tried to make his repository work by following the instructions, but it's not working. Even after, let me show you, just in case you're probably not following. We've created the description. This is the description folder he asked us to create because he said the file must exist inside what? Description URDF. We've created the description folder. We've created the URDF and see his file there, right? That's everything I did in the terminal. And even at that, even if I should open the terminal from this point where we have the two folders, it's still not working. And there's a good reason why it's not working. What's the good reason why it's not working? We've messed with the paths a lot. Like we've messed with the paths so much. So if I was to rectify this now, a simple correction to the README would prevent all of this. I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to prevent a case of it worked on my PC or it built on my PC. It worked on my side, it's classic issue. And that issue is very, very, very prevalent in robotics. In fact, it's very, very annoying because now all I'm trying to do is to copy a package. Like, let me just copy a package and run it. That's all I need to do. And I'm having all these issues. So what I will do properly, come on, I mean, my laptop still isn't charging. Okay, it's charging now. Okay, so now I've done it his way to see that it actually doesn't work. So I would have to clean up that mess because explaining it in an issue it's a bit complicated. It's a bit complicated. So let's delete everything. Let's delete everything and let's start from scratch. Okay, so you see it just disappears up there. Okay, so let's fix it. We'll copy this. So far so good. The first few commands are working. Hooray. At least I don't have to think about something breaking. I just copy it and it works. So the problem now is, how do we actually run this? Now, this is very simple. All I'll do is I would go to where the README is. Again, cd call me April, call me welcome. I don't know how I ended up here. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how I ended up here. You press just one command wrong in the terminal and you are in a completely different direction. I kind of hit a different key. So I mean I can just go to the folder on the GUI and open a new terminal there, but no. I rather do this. Okay, we're back. So build install log source. Okay, and I would go into the source and I would go into and I would open VS Code here. My idea of opening VS Code is simple. I want to edit the README because that's where the problem is. The problem is not in the code, it's not in the package, it's in the instructions. So I head over to the README and I'm going to correct this to present work directory. Now, before I say present work directory, you need to be sure of where you are after the last instruction, right? After this last instruction, where are we? We are in this place, right? I have some questions. No, I don't have some questions. I have some. Why does this feels off? This feels off. Okay, because I know this is the instruction. I see why it feels off. Hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. 1 minute. I mean, I can skip that since I'm building it on his side. I can skip that. Don't worry. That something my thoughts just something just came to my mind because I am working on my own version, but the version has his name in it. It's supposed to have my name, right? It's supposed to have my name, but that should not be a problem. I can find a way around it. Okay, so after this point, we're in the workspace. At the end of this, we're in the workspace, right? And in the workspace, if you do PWD, you have to crawl from the workspace into the package, right? Because right now we are in the workspace. So something is missing, which is source. So I'm supposed to put in a source for him. I'm supposed to put in a source for him. That's literally how it works. Yeah, I'm supposed to put in a source for him. So I'll do it this way. I will just get a test. I'll open a new terminal. Okay, I'll open this here. And this is just unrelated. This is just a means to an end. It's not like it's part of the whole thing. I just want to edit it in a clean way, in a proper way. And then I will ls, and then I will code here instead. Right. Sorry, that's too much. Okay. And inside here, I will say now I'm in workspace. Workspace, I'm in source, right? And then I clone in the source. I mean, I have something in the source, but I'm still in the source. When I go back into the workspace, so I'm in the workspace, I build in the workspace, I retain my position in the workspace. So my path would be relative to the workspace, meaning I would have source, and then I would remove the description because he didn't use description at the end of the day. He could have used description if his package was description, but his package is his stuff is not, it's not really description. So let's see if this works. Present working directory, source, URIDF. Okay, so now let me make the change. Added, what did I add? Modified URIDF parts in README. I mean, I know it's in the README because it's clearly written here in the README, but synchronize and should be good. That should be good. Okay. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, I don't know, but it should work. It should work. So, what do I do now? For the sake of transparency, I once again delete everything. CD, ls, and then I'm going to remove recursive Abdullah, and I'll remove factor, and then it goes. And then I will now come and follow solely the instruction. So I don't need to come here and do anything for the copying of the command. I just need to follow the instruction and I should be fine. So copy this, the terminal we live in, and then I have that there. And then I copy this, and I have that there, and I copy this, right? I feel I've copied something twice. Sure, I've copied something twice. Yeah, I copied one command twice. That's a possibility. So you probably have to look out for that. So remove recursive. Okay, so I'm not copying this command because I already have all these things installed, but normally you would copy this. It will throw an error because of this replace humble, but it's going to fix it either way. So I'll copy this. So the first command is done, and then I'll copy this, and then that is done, and then I'll copy this. And now we still have errors. Why do we still have errors? Home workspace. Classic case of it. It worked on my computer. Now this is another reason people hate Rust. You can literally see a repository that's, I mean, he sent me the video of the repository. The repository works. It's visualized on his side, but now to get the code across, it's a pain in the ass. So I have to debug why it isn't opening clearly. It claims there is no file in here, 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 and here. That's what it's claiming, right? But I can guarantee that that file is present if I run this, if I do this. File is not present. Workspace, source, workspace, source, URDF. I can literally see you there. Student tax 4, the arm, student tax 4, workspace, source, you factory. Bro, you're not going to believe what the error is. Yeah, Jesus Christ, you're not going to believe what the error is. Oh my God. Yeah, you're not going to believe what the error is. All right. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I go back one directory, run ls. I remove recursive, and then git clone. I'm not following the instruction because I want to correct something. And then what do? I cd no sorry. I cd into stuff. There's no source. Okay, the package. Sorry, what's the package? Abdullah. Cd into Abdullahi. Cd into source. I don't have a source. ls. Okay, I didn't build. Okay. Code. And the problem is an R. Like the problem is the bloody R. Like, oh my God. Problem was an R. Just to be sure. Just to be sure. Oh baby. Oops, mademoiselle. And is this problem from me or it's from Abdullahi? Problem is from Abdullahi. The R isn't there. It's UFR. It's UFR. Your package is literally UFR, and you somehow omitted the R here. Now there's there are so many condemned ROS. There are so many so many packages that you feel are completely condemned. Were we meant to add a README file to your work? Yes, you are supposed to add a README file. I said that in the recording. I said that in class. Add a README file. Everybody had, not everybody, most people I saw added a README file. And some people that didn't add, I raised an issue on their GitHub to add a README file. Because without a README file, I mean, this is a README file. With the README file, there's so much errors and so much stress. Without the README file, you can only imagine. Without the README file, I probably might have to start digging into how things work internally on your code. That's why there's a README file to start with. So Abdullah made the mistake of omitting the R. We inherited the mistake. We fixed the mistake now. Can I push it? Or have I pushed it already? Why is it not responsive? There is no active repository on it, or what's happening? Why is... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm to save it. After saving it, it's not still... I'm supposed to be able to push. Yeah, sure. Regardless, let me just be sure the changes have been made. The R is there, the R is there. But for some reasons, I don't know why I cannot push my changes. So cases like this, when VS Code decides to be stupid, I really don't care. I just use the terminal either ways. Git status, let me see what the repository looks like. The changes were made on the readme through, so I would just git add git commit message. Like I don't know how VS Code is acting up. What message should I add? Added the R. I think that's fair. And then git push. I don't set origin. The origin is probably already set. Okay, so if I go back up here, I can refresh this. Notice Abdullah's copy, so it's not going to show here. I have to go back on mine, and I would refresh mine, and I see that the R has been added. So let's again hope for the best. You know the drill by now. We delete what we already have because we want to be sure that everything is working as per the instructions. So I copy his instruction, I paste the first one, I copy the second instruction, I paste the second one, I copy the final instruction, I paste it. Oh my god. You need to know how fucked up. I mean, I don't want to even point fingers. I know most readmes are written with ChatGPT clearly. My readmes are those lengthy ones. I didn't sit down to write all of that, but there are some key things that you probably should edit yourself, right? So I don't even know why, and I have to debug live. I mean that's what I've been doing. Okay, I am guessing the issue is now the name. Like, oh, well, life keeps getting harder. R, right? I don't see any Y there, but I see a Y here. I see a Y here too, but there's no Y there. Okay, so before the URDF, there is no Y. 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 So what happens is before the URDF, there is no Y. Okay, we go again. For the RDF, there is no Y. For the RDF, there's no Y. There's no Y for the RDF. There's no Y for the RDF. I'll copy this. I will copy this. I just delete this file. I'll just open a new terminal here. Git clone. And then I would feed it into Abdullah. I would open my code here. So before the source, there is no Y. That's what I said. For the source, there is no Y. For the source, there's no Y. Meaning before this, the RDF, there is no Y. Allegedly. Allegedly, there is no Y. You are still scanning for folder for Git repository. Like, I mean, not that I even care, sir. Not that I care. I'll just do through terminal. So imagine a case where you don't know how to do Git through the terminal. You probably just get stuck. And then for whatever reason that VS Code is acting up, git add, git commit, message. Someone wants to join the call. I would add him shortly. Removed the Y before your RDF. And then git push. All right. Now, again, delete. Let's go back to our precious terminal. ls ej. Control copy, cd back here, ls. No, there's nothing there now. Now let's follow our instructions again. I'll copy this. I'll copy this. I'll copy this. God, please. There are times when things doesn't just work, and you have to just come in. You have to just make peace with that. That doesn't work. But no, we don't make peace with that. We are going to solve it. How many minutes do I have more? Okay. Think. That I'm on an all time low, 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 low. So the assumption is still scanning for. I think is that a problem with the repository? I don't actually. So, I probably need a script, so I didn't think I'll be git adding it this often. Git commit message. Take two. No, take two is a very stupid name to give this. What did I do? Modified parts of your RDF on readme.md. .md, and then I do git push. Git push. Did that work? That works, right? Just solve one problem, 6 commits already. Okay, now let's see if that solves the problem. She's formidable. Formidable. Beautiful. I have nothing in the folder, and then let me use just the readme. I've copied the same command twice. Okay, we'll go again. The first command, the second command, and then the last command. Ah, God. Abdullah. Oh, no one. Somebody was on the call. I've admitted him. Okay, so we have his robots here. Yeah. Did someone raise his hand? Did someone trying to call or what? What was the issue? A series of issues. Let me put it this way: series of issues. But the one that I was struggling with for the past few minutes was incorrect spelling of the URDF parts. That was just the issue. Incorrect spelling. So yeah, actually in cases like this now, imagine you have to submit your assignment on ROS, and then your professor has to go through this process. I don't think any professor is going to even have to do this. So most times they don't really need the code. They just get at least for my guys that are in robotics related program, they just submit the reports and then the proof, and then yeah, nobody wants to go through all this stress except it's something really valuable. Now, this looks good. if you'd ask me. This looks good. Wonderful. It looks good indeed. But now everything is falling apart. Yep, everything is falling apart. Okay, so I see what his issue was. I see what his issue. Yeah, what's up? Abdullah, what's up? Talk to me.
Yeah, I added a like a button, a plus and minus button to the slider, to the one I added a screenshot on the readme. But I edited the joint publisher GUI.py. So I don't know if it will conflict with other with other people's setup. That's why I don't push that's why I don't push the file to the repo.
Okay, first of all, the problem I'm seeing here is completely different from the joint publisher GUI thing. Those are two different things. The problem that I see here is all your frames are at origin. I mean, the visuals are good, but all the frames are at origin. So what happens is everything scatters. So you editing your joint publisher GUI, I don't even know why we want to indulge in that. I did that on the call because TC was curious. That was not supposed to be something you learn or something you do. Honestly, I won't advise anybody to edit things like that because it's going to mess up. A lot of other files depends on it, right? I only edit it because I know what I changed and how to go back to it, right? So you might probably fuck something up and end up having to install ROS from start again because you don't know what you changed or what you broke. But I'll give this a fair score. I mean, he assembled the robots, didn't he? He assembled the robots and he had a nice readme. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a pull request, and he's going to have to merge it on his side. He's going to get the notification actually, and the pull request will be fix your readme instructions, because the idea of the readme is I don't want to be doing git clone and be looking for how to arrange the files. Tell me how to do it. You wrote the code. See the changes in the readme.md below. Below, I mean, if it was an email, it's below attached. I don't know, just see the changes of the readme, and I'll create the pull request. So yeah, that's done. Next, yeah, all the joints are set to 0, 0. Yeah, I saw that. I know that's what the problem is. The next person is Simon. Sorry, Samuel. Okay, there's no readme to start with. That's the first issue I'm raising. Please add a readme. Ensure that your readme completely and accurately tells the user how to clone, set up, and use your repo. So first, one should don't feel on board. Now there is no repository, there is no readme, so I'm lost. I mean, anybody, like an average person would be lost, but let's see what life gives us. What this do is this actually forces me to I mean, what if I don't know that you are using a URDF tutorial to run your? I mean, what if I don't know that? Because I open your I do git clone. I do git clone, right? I do cd into what I have cloned virtual player. Ls I run code, right? So usually, let's assume I don't know what this is about. This is like the usual thing I do. I will I will check your package first. So let me see what you have. I can tell you're on ROS 1. Sorry, you're on ROS 2, because if it's ROS 1, it has a different arrangement. And apparently, a lot of these packages that we are using for the tax 4 was actually in ROS 1. I had to write it to ROS 2 so it's compatible. So you're on ROS. I know this is ROS 1. I know you used Python. Sorry, I know you used C++ and some other things that aren't so necessary. So, okay, I have an idea of what I'm doing now. I check the snake lists. I can see that he is using my shared directory. So that signals something to me that the package is dependent on some ROS packages, like some ROS files in my share, because like he wants to share something. So not doesn't give any clear indication, because clearly there is no command on how to run it. I probably check the URDF and like, okay, I can see a URDF. I can see a very short URDF, right? I want to believe it's it. I can also see something at the bottom. Okay. 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 Git initialize here. And this looks like remnant from our professor ChatGPT, which is good. I mean, so provided you know what you're doing, that's all. I really don't care. I can see, because I mean that's the truth. That's the truth. I really don't care. I've had a couple of interviews. I've had a couple of interviews where they tell me, um how did you structure it? There was one time he was like, um okay, no, I gave him my price, and he was like, it's too expensive. And he was like, this is something that you can easily run with ChatGPT. And I was like, okay, I mean, so if you can run with ChatGPT, why are you really asking me to do it? Like, why do you want to hire me to do it? And then there was that awkward silence. There was that awkward silence. So ChatGPT can do a lot of things, right? Like perfectly, but sometimes it's not always. I mean, tell ChatGPT to write you a ROS2 code for autonomous navigation, and it might probably start panicking because it's not yet at that point. It's going to get there. It's going to do far better than that, but not just yet there. Also, I can see some things that are not supposed to. I mean, this could be anything. These are your file paths. I'm not supposed to see them here, but I can see them. You might probably look at that when you are sharing, when you are working like on an actual team, because it means your file paths are, people can see they can see what your file structure looks like, and that's not the idea. Okay, I can look at the meshes. I can look at the final results. VS Code is not the best to use to view pictures, but I can see there's an additional picture, PNG3. I know that I think all the robots had two pictures. So if there's a third one, probably that's his result at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell. This looks like the one I did, but then again, it's the same RV, so I can't really tell. Okay, so this is my thought process, right? I've scanned through the repository, and now I will proceed to do what I do best, which is fucking around and finding out. So what I will do is I will create a new I'll create a new folder called source. I will now move everything. I mean everything. I would move every single thing. I think there's a command to move everything at once into source. And then now I have source. What would I do now? I have source, and I can assume the vector player robotic arm is the workspace, even though there is no name workspace on it. All right, I can do that. I'm allowed to do that. So I can now call build. It's a light application, so I don't need to do symbolic link and all of that. I've built it now, right? So this is what I have. I would now source it. Standard procedures, nothing special. So it's sourced, right? The problem now is, how do I run it? You've thrown me somewhere, right? Yeah, I don't know how to run it. Usually, if you want to do something like this, you have a launch folder. TC wrote his own launch folder, which I'm still trying to recover from being impressed about that. He wrote a launch folder, a launch file by itself, right? That's nice. That's good. That, I mean, give him some credits. But now there's no launch folder, so that tells me, okay, I probably need to use another package to launch it. So we go again, rust2 launch URDF tutorial, display launch.py. Is that it? Display launch.py. What's the syntax again? Model. I think we're passing model arguments. It's not model equal to. Then we go pw present working directory. I'm in the workspace, so source should do it. Source meshes URDF. What's the name of his URDF? Excellent. Let's see. All right, that's beautiful. I mean, it looks nice visually, but I can tell it's, I mean, I was saying it that the URDF was looking too short. With this, I can only move 2 joints, which is like this and like this. This is just this is barely 3 axes, right? So I mean, I saw the URDF and I was like, this URDF is pretty short, but let me just believe in magic. Apparently, magic doesn't really work. So this passes. Actually, it passes, but you still have a lot of work to do in your URDF, because like a URDF of 123 lines for a 6-axis robot is very short, right? I'm supposed to be like envisioning about 200, 150, 200 lines. So all in all, this is good. This didn't stress me. It didn't stress me because I already know what to do. Because frankly, it's worse than Abdullah's own because it doesn't have a README to start with. So you add your README, you probably try and fix your issues. I would open another issue for that. Don't worry. So I would open another issue. I could as well just do it on the call, but I want to go through everybody's repository. Let me know what everybody's issues are. I will do this called complete your URDF. You only have 2 movable joints. I think that robot uses 6. I think that robot uses, I think it's either 6 or 7 joints. I've forgotten the control architecture for it. The 6 or 7 joints. So yeah, you have 2 issues on your repository. Yeah, there are 200. Samuel, what's up?
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate the feedback. So my major question is, how do you know if the joints are fixed, revolute, or other types, right? Because based on the diagram that we got, like the final result, it was just like the joints are there, most of them are fixed. So do you know from the diagrams, or yeah?
Do I know from the diagrams? Yes. But the only reason why I know from the diagrams is experience, because I can see, I mean, it's going to be actually unfair for me to say you can know from the diagram. It's unfair. I can see this diagram. I can see there's a link here. I can see another link here. This has to be Revolut. There's a link. This is Revolut. But I can only tell this because of experience. So the best way to do it is, I told some people, I give you only 2 pictures, or at most 3 pictures. So what you do is Google, right? This, if I probably take this robot and put it on I think Abdullah did an excellent work. You see what this is called? This is called a technical specification. This thing is available for all robots. All you just need to do is search and you would see it. I think you're on like 6, as a matter of fact. So from this, you can tell that this joint uses degree. This is a Revolut joint. Technically, this joint is called a continuous joint, but continuous joint is a Revolut joint without limits, right? They are basically the same thing, but I did not talk about types of joints because then would go down a very complex. I mean, Revolut, prismatic, spherical, helical. There are lots of joints, and they all have their configuration spaces and things like that. So to keep things simple, since I've already tailored you to one robot, it's a matter of just looking at that robot and doing some extra research. That's how things work. So yeah. So hey, software and firmware. Sorry, this is unrelated. Or your factory studio. I didn't know the Chinese would actually open source something like this. But I mean, it's okay. So yeah, so far so good. Abdullah's repository is the best, even though it stressed me. Yes, Sai said he tried using Claude. There's a joke. There's a joke I dropped on the group. I was like, ChatGPT, align my URL for me. You will cry. You will cry. Because ChatGPT doesn't it needs a lot more information, right? It needs a lot more information than you can give it on the prompt, and it doesn't process visual information as powerful yet so it would probably do a bad job at URL. I mean, just think of it. Can you tell ChatGPT to create a card model for you? That sounds ridiculous right now. Okay, what's the next one? Said, you Abdullah, are you raising your hand, or your hand has been raised since? All right, I shall proceed to lower your hands. Okay, so the next person is Olamide, my guy. But I say I know my guys. I know my guys. It's how they read me just simple. The factory exam light assembly, no issue. Push the whole workspace. I know my guys. You don't even get any stress at all. So this pretty much follows the same drill as the previous case where there was no readme, so there's no instruction. So I'm left to use my vibes. But then there's a problem. The repository is unnecessarily large because you have a lot of other things, a lot of other noise in the repository. So I would now git clone. Call me your friend, call me broker. You can do so, but eyes closed. Okay, so we have the README, we have the workspace in the repository. I can go into the workspace. Sorry, I can go into the workspace and now I have the build, the install, the log. I have all of that. I'll go into the arm, and does it have what I want? Let me examine the code myself. So rinse and repeat, basically. Package, all the packages will look alike, except he has his email here. Just give me a shout out. similar. So the RDF for the arm, 135 lines. Okay. With all the joints at origin. Okay. All right. So I can guess what the issue would be with this one. But on the upside, I don't have to build the repository again. Hopefully. Now let me see what happens if I just, instead of building, let me just, since he has already given me everything, let me source it. Now, slight problem. This is why it is useless. When you build, it builds for your machine. It builds for your machine. I'm not going to lie to you. So this was built on Olamide's machine. So he has given me this, which is now a lot of issues because I have to now rebuild. And there's already existing build. Rebuilding on that might probably cause conflicts. So I have to first of all clean his package. I have to delete the previous build and have to now rebuild again. So it could have saved him the time. It could have saved me the time if he just pushed only the source, only the package, only the ARM description without build install log. So I'll show you what the build looks like. If I open install and this is the command, I open the text editor. Right, so we're running now. This is where the problem is. I'm opening this so that let me use VS Code. Let me show you what the problem is. Hopefully that way nobody pushes a full build for me again. So this is your, oh no, let me go from the package so that it would be relatable to everybody. This is Olamide's work. Right? Hold on. This is Olamide's repository, Workspace. All right, so let me open it from here. Let me open the VS Code from here. Now in Olamide's repository, he pushed build, install, and log. And if you come to the install, I want to show you why the install will not work. What we run is install setup.bash or setup.zh or whatever terminal you're on. But I'm running setup.bash or bash. But on the bash, I probably would come across something that would refer me elsewhere. Where is that batch file? Where is that batch file? All right. There is usually where it specifies. And funny enough, I opened it just now and I saw it just now. Install. Okay, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. So setup.bash is here, and setup.bash calls all of this. And inside here, you can see that if I increase this, it actually works with Lamy. That's his own stuff. Home Lamy tax install, because it's built for his own. And then if I should come here, it tells me it doesn't exist. Like it throws an error, which if we look at it roughly, is actually the not found that it tries to do. So when you build, it's building for your PC directly. So that's why it doesn't, I mean, hopefully now that I'm showing you like this, you know it's not just it's not just something that we're saying, don't build, da da da. It's basically pointless now for me. So I would go, yeah, what's up? I would go through the stress of having to remove unwanted files, build, install, and the log. And what do I do now? I will have to rebuild it again. So call build. So we have a fresh build, which is sweet. For some reasons, I'm seeing Catkin. For some reasons. It could either be from maybe he fucked around, but I doubt he's going to ever mess around with Catkin. Or probably when I was porting it, I probably didn't port this completely. But I mean, who cares? Let's go to what brought us here, which is the launch. Do I have that? Okay, Rust launch. So the only thing I need to change is the arm description. So arm will be in URDF and then the arm. Okay, I don't die. Let me help now. Let me where are your visuals? But you remember I told you there's day I was telling you the visual is actually for you. Arvis doesn't give two shits about the visual. The computer doesn't care about the visual. So I should be able to still turn this possibly. So this would actually pass a simulation. Like nobody cares, honestly. So I can actually see the joints, and I think this is actually the best I've seen so far. But till I bring the robots and see, this just rotates the end effector. So I mean I give you maximum respect for having the joints well aligned to start with. That's good. But now I have to fix this. I have to fix this. Why? Because the package isn't showing. Did I skip something? Cocom build. Okay, I think that's my bad. Probably I did not. I probably did not source. So that's probably my bad. Okay. He used alternating colors. Not that it's bad, but when you use alternating colors, I mean, try not to use the colors of the axis because now there's blue, there's red on the axis. So I would just turn this off. It's not like I care. So this is what we have. Now let's see if it actually moves properly. But let me do you good. And then this just rotates. But now this rotates poorly. You can see this actually rotates poorly because while the the frames look like they're rotating well, this is not rotating properly. Let's see, does this rotate properly? This rotates properly, and he enforced some reasonable limits to it, right? But the limits might collide with each other, but I'm not concerned about collision at this point. I just want to see if it works. Okay. All right. Allow me this repo is the best. Okay. Now time to stack up a lot of issues on Olamide's repository. New issue. Add a readme. Add a readme. I'm not going to put a description because I don't have time for that. Another issue. Please remove your build, install, and log. Another issue. Please don't push your workspace. Please don't push your workspace. Apparently, this could have gone with the other one. Please don't push your workspace. What else? The joint was a bit bad, so you might have to look at your URDF again. URDF joints again. Now, how do you close these issues? You go, you look at what I do. Let me show you how to close the issue. Let's assume you are on my side. Maybe, how do I put it? Yeah, let's assume. Let me bring up. Do I have any existing issues? Do I have any issues? No, I don't have issues. I have pull requests. Well, never mind. But if you just go on your repository, you are going to see something like issues, and then on the issues, they'll show here. You open it. It's not like pull request. Pull request, you can merge it, but issues are like, oh, this is not working. So you just edit it, and once it's working, you reply me on the issue and tell me it's done. Check it out. Or you can choose to close the issue outrightly. If you check on YouTube, you'll see a lot of tutorials on that. So you can close the issue directly. But if you close the issue and it doesn't, I come back and I see that, oh, this guy didn't fix it, or he didn't fix it properly, I open the issue again. No, I open a new issue, like a new issue, because I can't reopen an issue that the maintainer closed. Or normal standard Git flow. All right, so that's allow me to. When I click on build Symlink, it appears. I don't really know what you're referring to. But I probably want to speak anytime if you want to. Okay, so we have another person, which is Quorum, and this is
Okay.
yeah. What's up,
The
Lambi?
correct name
What's
is
up?
Koyum.
Hmm?
It's Koyum, not Koru.
Sorry, call Yum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yum, sorry, I'm terrible with that. Call Yum. Okay,
So
call Yum. Okay.
I just finished my first build at the start of the class, so there might be a lot of issues.
Thank you for the heads up. I mean, if every other person had given me heads up, I would know what to expect. But I just ran straight into a trap. Okay, he said there might be some issues. I mean, it's a very mundane procedure. Allow me the WhatsApp speak to me.
Yeah, I wanted to ask one question.
Yeah,
Because yeah, what's the difference between when you had like Simlink and when you compute alone?
okay, good. Let me show you. Let me show you with these guys work. Let me show you these guys work. I'll show you what it means. I mean, I could also just explain it. I explained it one time. I don't know if it was on this class I explained. It was this workshop I explained. Take for example, on your Windows PC, you have icons on your desktop, right? You have a lot of icons on your desktop. Those icons are shortcuts. That's what we know them as, shortcuts, right? Because they lead you somewhere. But they are called symbolic links, right? There's symbolic links, there are dynamic link libraries, there are different type of links in computing, but symbolic links are like shortcuts. Let's call it that. So the executable is in one side, and then you can just create a link in another side that calls the executable. That way, if you want to run the program, you don't need the full executable, because some executable can be like 1 gig. SolidWorks is not 20 something gig. Some executables are large. So instead of replicating the executables everywhere, all we do is we have the executable in one location and then we link it. And now let me show you. Let me show you how it works. So I git clone I'm not going to lie. I've forgotten pronunciations. I'll just call you Mr. Circuit. I don't know, my yeah. It's not about you. I am bad with facial recognition. I'm bad with languages. So I really just don't recall all of those. I mean, you can't have everything, can you? So so Mr. Circuit was like, he had some issues, and now there's a slight problem because some of the robots are named alike, so I would have to look out for things like that. So this is what he has. There's no readme, and again, see, anybody that I say you should do readme, please and please watch the recording of the first person, because I mean the readme it's a simple process, but it's very confusing. I mean, if you get it, fine. If it takes a while for you to get it, it's okay. But regardless, there's a recording that talks about creating readmes. So what will I do? I would make directory. I'll make directory source, and again I would move everything. I want to play with something. Will this work? Oh, that's the thing. It will not work. Reason being that it involves everything. Sorry, it's just typical Linux shit. I feel there's an easier way to do this, but it works. So okay, now let's do Qualcomm build. Right, let's go build first. So for you to better understand this, I would have to use GUI. So call me your friend, call me bro. Okay, so now Qualcomm build gives only 4 folders. Please ignore this. This is the Git folder. This came directly with his work. So if I open my build, I see robot description. I see a lot of things. I see okay, so this is the best way for you to understand it. Let me open two folders. Open two, one by this side, one by this side. This is for build, this is for install. Now you see this robot description here, you see all this amend CMake, these are 16 files are here. You open this, you open share, you open robot description, you see files like that. Someone wants to try and join the call. Okay, so I was saying, you see some similar files, right? The amount of files here are actually much, first to see, and there's a lot of similarities between the two folders. So I think to make this clearer, because to me I can see the similarities, because I can see robot description, and then I can see robot description, and then I can see the rest of the things. But to make this clearer, let me have another terminal. Okay, cd. Let me go outside. Let me call this. Let me make a new directory. I'll call it symbolic link, and I will go into symbolic link. And now let me git clone the same repository, and now let me build with symbolic link. But before I build, I have to do the refactoring of the repository. I mean, the move into the source. There's no directory. But clearly, I have to make the directory first. Make directory source, and no, I don't concatenate. Okay. So this works. Okay, so now I can Qualcomm build, symbolic link and symbolic link install. That's the idea. So it builds. I would now go into another GUI because it's easier to understand it with the GUIs. I open up symbolic link. So this is the same stuff, but different I should just open a new file. Okay, so here I go into install. Right, great. So far so good. If I open robot description, everything looks similar, but you would find that there are two more files which comes up, which is symbolic link manifest. This is just like a detail about the symbolic link. I probably should not go too much into that, but this is my point exactly. Robot description. I don't know if you see a difference. Instead of having solid files, because this is the robot description. This is the robot description for. This is the install for Cocom build. This one is the one with the Cocom build. This is Cocom build, and then this is Cocom symbolic. So now, instead of having raw files here, this is 1.6 kilobytes. You can simply just have links. Like, they are not really the files per se, but they are links that send you somewhere, right? So you can see it even with the visual, the arrow, and all of that. So that's just the thing. It makes the work a bit lighter, because if you run Cocom build on certain repositories without symbolic link, you might end up with like a ton of like files. So just do symbolic link. So instead of having two different sets of executables, you just link one to the other. That's the idea. So sometimes I just do Cocom build because the packages are very light, like they're very small packages, and you won't even see the difference. So where was I? Is that a question? Is that someone trying to join the call? I'm lost in my number of tabs. Multiple are trying to join the call, admit all. So yeah, basically. Okay, so okay, so we are here. Let's go back to where we were. CD factory light 6. Okay. Yes. So this is master circuits work. Just Mr. Circuit ls. So we have this, right? I've built it already, so I can just go up. So I've built it. Have I sourced it? I've not sourced it. So I source install setup the bash standard procedure. So now let me try and run it. Okay, so in this case, I will use present work directory. I would use source for non-CPP package. Symbolic load also enables. I'll read that when I'm done. Source the idea robots with tutus. All right, he has only one joint that works. At least it works, and it looks put together, I guess. Oh, so
Sorry. How do you hide the axis, the coordinates?
oh yeah, there's this button up here.
Yeah.
TF. Yeah, like I'm clicking the button. It's that probably is too small for you to see, or like that's Arvis isn't so smart. I can't make this larger for you to see. So just know there's a button up here. You probably just play this display.
I can zoom to see what you are doing.
Yeah, you can. Okay, so You can take out the model too. You can, I don't know, you can remove the grids, whatever you want. Actually, it's a free world. So I'll kill that process. Someone said for non-CPP packages, I believe the symboling list of also enables you to skip rebuilding. Every time changes are made to your file structure. So can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yeah. So my mic died. Right. So I had to like get another one. And so as I was saying, on for C++, I'm replying Oni that said non-C++ packages, I believe the symbolic link helps you to skip rebuilding every time changes are made to your file structure. No. For C++, I can give you a very, very solid no on that. But your statement was for non-C++, so I'm guessing Python. I work more with C++, but for Python, you probably have to rebuild. You have to rebuild. You have to rebuild. You have to rebuild actually. I mean, this is something we can try out now, but that might be time consuming, and we already have an agenda. But no, I would disagree with you on that. Sahid. Saeed. Saeed, that's why I did the call. Saeed don't grind.
I did.
We finally got into Saeed. Saeed, my guy. Okay, so
I have some questions.
yeah, what's your question, bro?
All right. So, firstly,
Yeah.
is it possible that we don't assemble joints or links before we can simulate in ROS? Like, is it necessary every time you want to work with ROS simulation to assemble CAD files like that?
Okay, so I'll answer your question this way. When you want to simulate, do you want to see what you're simulating? Like you want to see, you're simulating something, right? You're simulating a robot, right?
Yes.
That's something we all agree on. So it depends. That robot is going to come from somewhere. So it's either somebody is going to give you an already made URDF, or you're going to assemble it. And most professional cases, if they have somebody that is capable of assembling the URDF from the mechanical team, then I don't see why they need you to run the simulation. I don't know if you get the issue. So what was in my head when I was drafting these tasks was there are certain things you learn and you realize you don't know how to apply it because the application is like at the top. Like there's some preliminaries, right? So this is not I prefer telling you, okay, this URDF file, this is where it's actually coming from. This is how you actually get this URDF file. If we want to backtrack it, we can go as far as going back to say, let me tell you how they design the parts in CAD and how they do the engineering behind the dimensions and all of that. But there is a special workshop that handles that. but not this. This is mostly for software. So yeah, must you always get the URDF? Must you always arrange the URDF yourself? No. But that is if somebody does it, like somebody arranges it for you. Or if you go to, like, for example, all these URDFs that we have, where I got them from, they were already assembled. I'm not even going to lie. You can literally just go there, download it, and simulate, like off the shelf. They are all assembled. The problem with learning that way is rarely do they give you everything already assembled. Rarely do they give you things off the shelf. Yeah. Now, only in your case, I don't know. I mean, ask AI that you're saying ROS 1. Yeah, you're talking about ROS 2, not ROS 1. Like, you probably just like that same chat, ask it that, and let's see what it is. Because most of the information on ROS that AI have is ROS 1. And when you say ROS, it automatically just talks about ROS 1. I mean, I saw this issue when I first started learning ROS. So I dey ask AI, say how far I go build my ROS package now. It's giving me Catkin. I nearly ran mad. I was trying to use Catkin to build ROS for like hours. And then I gave up and I had to go and look at the YouTube video and it was like, oh, it's Qualcomm. It's changed somewhere. Can you open issues on my repository so you know where to proceed? Bro, I've forgotten the changes I made to your repository. I swear to God. I've forgotten the changes I made to your repository. Let me look at it. Okay, I mean everything looks okay. Well, that's because you haven't really done much. This turns properly. So what I would say is I will where is the repository self? Sorry. I'll just click it afresh. So the issues is create new issue. The first one is please create a readme, like a good readme. I'm going to say update your readme. Please update your readme. Update your readme. The idea is in the readme should contain instructions on how to set up and run your package. So that's what I will do. That's the first thing, the readme. Then the next one, which you already know, only one joint is working. I mean, only the end effector joint is working. Please complete the URDF. Just complete the URDF. Okay, so I can go and spy the URDF stuff. Let me know what exactly the issue is. So it is just extra conquest, not like I need to. I'm just curious. Let me see what the URDF looks like. URDF. Yeah. I mean, I mean, apparently, I'm happy. I'm happy I did this. I'm happy I did this because this problem is not that the joints are not there. The problem is that the joints are fixed. I think that's something I need to correct. The joints are not supposed to be fixed. if I make all the joints revolutes, for example, something happens. Base link to link base, though that one is fixed. If I suddenly make all of them revolute, something nice happens. And let's find out. Let's see. What have I done? You move just one line of code. Just one line of code, and then
Okay.
nothing works. That's all it takes. Easy. So I don't press spoil. And now I have to go down the rabbit hole. Where do my error spring up from exactly? Waiting for the robots to publish. They said the parser had an error. Continuous. It's either I'm not spelling continuous well, because you can't tell me there's no joints like continuous. That's going to invalidate how many months of Ross learning. Continuous. Bro. This has to be. Come on, hold on. Come on, nigga, put the rubber on commando. Where the first one looking up the commando? Bro, sorry they laugh me. Mess up. I don't go shit for church. Okay, so continuous. I can just control find and replace, but again, my brain has already decided to do it this way. So I mean, let's let him do his thing. I can't live with this now. Okay. So let's see if sides. No, this is not side. I think we're still on master circuit. Let's see if these robots response. So you probably have to do a lot more than just doing that. Yeah. You have to fix the frames, bro. I fix the frames. Everything is just spiraling out of control. So the frames are not intact. Anyways,
How do I align this?
how do you align it?
How do I fix it to the body?
Like the reason why it's twisting like that is because it's not because it's not fixed to the body. It's because the joint frames are off by some magnitude. I can't even start explaining that now because I mean I'm happy almost everybody I've seen could visualize at least the robot is intact. So if not for anything, at least you people have learned how to think of the robot in 3D space and adjust the visual and maybe measure and manipulate and do whatever it is you did to get to that result. So a win is a win. But if I probably run collision, internal collision, I would probably find out that some of your mesh are colliding with each other, which is not a problem for me because I didn't talk about it. So, but a win is a win. So how do you fix that issue? There probably might be another class on it if it's important. The way things are going, I probably have to make another class because even the people that thought they finished have not really finished. Okay, so he gave us a nice this thing. Cocon lists is not verify that the workspace detects your package. Good, right? Okay. Is it necessary? No. Is it good? Yes. Is it recommended? Maybe. But I like the inclusion. Now, if dependencies are missing, make sure to install them before proceeding. Now, yeah, you don't give men homework. You don't. Somebody actually took out time to put in his README the dependencies that you need to install.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
And now you've decided not to do that. So okay. And now after you source and install, there's no command to run. So let's run some issues. Command to run the visualization. This is not a proper way to create an issue, but let's just do it like that. And you see command to run the visualization. The dependencies needed to run the package. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's look at what he did. His last commit was to remove unwanted files. And this has to be the grand, like among the unwanted files, Baba deemed the package.xml and the CMake list unwanted. So now we don't have a package.xml. Or side doings the body. Side their doings. So I want to be sure of something. I want to go to all the commits he made, and I want to go to the one where he said remove the unwanted files. Okay, he has removed the unnecessary files. He removed build install log. These are files that you would normally want to remove. This looks okay. He now removed unwanted files. Aha! I was very sure. He removed the CMake lists. He removed the package. Now let me show what happens in cases like this. We copy the code. Okay, let's use his instruction. He said clone it. So let's go that way. So we clone, and then he said move the Cortex light to your workspace. So the assumption is I have a workspace, right? So let me create a workspace. Let me make directory Said. Since I decided to give me that task to create a workspace, so I've created the workspace now. Then I move the arm into the workspace. So now I go into the ls into the Sahid's workspace that I created, right? And I have my arm there, cd Sahid, and I have my arm there, which is okay. We're in line. Then I run Corcon list, but I give you assurance. Maybe this is why I say we should verify the package. Corcon will not find any package. Corcon can never find any package. So now if I run Corcon build, there's no package to build. So apparently he knows what he did. That's why I said we should first verify the package. Okay, so no package, meaning this doesn't even pass as a ROS package. Why? Your package is your package.xml. Literally, that's your package. Like that's what tells Corcon that, oh yeah, there's a package here, right? So anytime you run Corcon list, Corcon just looks for only package.xml. You get? So since this is Git, again, I would show you something about time travel. I would come here to the removed files, and I would open this. Does Git give me the rare privilege to view this file? Please tell me. No, it doesn't give me that privilege. Doesn't give me that privilege. Aha, it does. So I will now copy this, and this is in a bid to resurrect his package, which, by the way, I've probably come across it a time or two. So I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do code. No, I want to first create the files. I need two files, which is package.xml and CMake list. So I'll create package.xml and I will create CMake list.txt. So I have two packages now. I'll open code, and then I will just trust the author. I'll come to the package. I will, no, I don't generate code. I'll just paste this. I'll save it. I will go to the CMake list and let me copy the CMake list, and then I would paste it now, right? So now ls, let me go back up a directory. So I'm in the workspace that he said. Now let me run the colcon list. Then and only then do we see the package. So we see that he has the package now, and then we run colcon build, and then it's failed. Why did it fail? The source directory does not appear to contain cmake.list. There's a problem. The problem is my cmake.list is with small letter L. So I will just rename this to list. So you see that the package is what tells colcon. You can do without cmake.list, but when you want to build, it's going to request for it. So I think now I can build. Okay, this is taking a very long time to build. It's taking a long time to build, meaning there is something wrong. He said install cannot find meshes. Why is that the case? Why is that the case? I think I know why it's the case. It's the case because of order of arrangement. So let's do this. And then let's build again. Head, go pay me today. Okay. God. Nice guy. Said. Well done. No. I hate anything that's, I mean, it's not as if I hate, but you see, once your error don't enter CMake, error. So it runs on his computer, but now he has made it completely useless on my computer, and I have to find my way around it now. So what do I do? What do I do? What's the package name per se? Colcon list. I'll start from there. The package is description. Abi? Fine. Now that I have that out of the way, the package is description. The package is description, but we don't need. I mean, I have a mental idea of the problem. I would cd into cortex ls cortex.description, right? So this is what I have, and then this is what I'll do. I will move ls cd cortex ls, and then I would move everything. I'll move everything a step above. Okay. So I don't have anything here now. I can move a step above, and I have everything here, right? So at this time t, cortex description should be empty. So I'm going to remove cortex. So avoid duplicates. I cannot remove it because it's a directory. So I would recursive first remove. So I have this now. So let me go up a directory, and I'll try and build again. I have feelings I will still have an error. I have an error. I don't have an error. Okay. That worked. That worked. That worked actually. It worked, but I am not. I'm not convinced about something, and I I have my reasons why. So let's try and run the Rust command, Rust2 to launch it. Rust2 launch. Rust2 launch, and then URDF exactly. Like exactly. So let me try and source it first, I think. But now I'm outside the folder. I'll just do relative sourcing. For sourcing, I just need to go up a directory. I go up a directory. I go to install. I go to setup. I go to bash. So let's go again. Okay. So all right. We have quite some good work here, actually. We have quite some good work here. This turns as intended, which is okay. This turns as intended. I would give him that. This turns, yeah, apparently it's just one axis that is off. It's not really a big deal. So yeah, I'll give him that. But this submission does not really count because where are your packages? So issues. Please restore your make lists and package .xml. Okay, so just restore that. And what other issues? Your URDF is not complete. Your URDF is not complete. What other issues? I think that's all I can think of. So he said he fixed that before pushing. Oh, and I been can show for here. So I don't know. So okay. That's Sahid. Next person is Tied Alpha. Yeah.
I do. What's one?
I do you. It's off.
I have a question, but it's not very related to what's the issue here. So the thing is, I moved some of my folders because I've always been creating workspace and package in my home folder. So anytime I open my files, it's just, I will have like a lot of folders. So I moved everything to like I created a folder like portal that I'll be using for all of this. But then anytime I open my terminal, it's not I'm unable to source any workspace.
Mm,
Should I send a screenshot to the group now?
I mean, you could, but the problem looks like what would need more than screenshots. But send it actually. Okay, Jawin. Yeah, okay. I submitted before at 6, but I cannot remember if it was the right one. You have 2 repositories. I mean, it's the same link you sent before that you sent right now. Then let me see what the group says. Call me, yeah, friend. Call me, bro. Can't you think I can do so? But eyes closed. But it's a beautiful day outside today. Oh no, welcome. Let me see. Yeah, C++ code you still need to rebuild, even though you do Simulink. Your problem tough at the moment too, because what's going on now? Your directory right where you are right now, Said. Your directory is um your directory is recycle bin. That's what I'm saying here. Yeah, and you're in the recycle bin. So I don't even know what series of commands led you here. Whatever led you here is probably not good. So if you want to help me, you might probably make a video explaining your problem. Or you can just go and dump your problem on TC. He's going to be willing to help you. But make a video and just drop on the group. Yes, you still have to make a video, like to explain your plight. Okay. I was at Jawin. That's the last repository here. Okay. So Oni and then Sunny. They all sent in their repository. Okay. Progress so far, implying he's not done. The first thing I see is create a readme.md. You know the drill for the readme. So next thing would be to play around. Let's see what he has. Tax force submission. So let me just create a new file for him since he's. I mean, I could just do here git clone cd tax force submission. And this is what we have. I would just make it a bit more organized. I would create the source. I would move everything into the source. I would leave. I would go back in. I will check how everything is. For some reason, the URDF is outside the source. Typical rookie mistake. I have bumped myself. I have everything inside the URDF now, so I would have to move from the URDF. I would have to move from the URDF. That have to move all this from the URDF. Gosh. I'll have to move all this from the URDF, and then I'm a bit curious. How do you have the URDF the RVs? Okay, I'm assuming that's part of the URDF. So I'll move from there, and I'll move it into, submission. I'll move it into source. So I have my source, and then I will move the URDF into source. And then I have my source, and then inside my source, I have everything I need. Okay. And then I can co-compute. Your package is taking a long time to build, and I'm guessing that's because your URDFs are a bit, your meshes are a bit heavy. Probably they're heavier than others that I've built. Okay, so I would source install setup bash. Let's I have my source install setup the bash, and then I will run. All I run, I'll run the command, the very lengthy command which I don't wish to call from my head. I would go into my preserve directory. I'll go into source. I'll go into URDF, and there are two things in the URDF. He has a URDF.rvs, meaning he saved a visualization, but I don't want to replay the visualization. I want to look at it from here. On first sight, this looks impressive. On first sight, this looks impressive. This looks impressive. All right, it's time to bust these logos. The base. Okay. Okay, the base turns. Okay. This actually turns. Okay. This turns. Okay, let me turn the base. If it's so controlled, okay. This turns 2 and this turns. I don't die. Oja, when you good, I can randomize it and I can see different positions. I can randomize it. I can see different positions. So it's colliding with itself, but I'll allow it because I didn't talk about that. I can give random positions. I don't know why you're saving on RVs, but it's impressive. It's impressive. I mean, no need to save on it. But that poem where I composed for you, no waste. That poem, no waste. But good. Okay, that's excellent so far. Like that's literally the best showcase I've seen. Even though there is no readme, but I'll allow it. Man, yeah, this is beautiful. Like, I just have to. Like, you know how beautiful is it? Just looking at an arm that's like fully made. And I'll probably take out the transforms, and I'll take out the grid. Just give it a nice angle like this. All right, I'm done adoring it. I can proceed to more important things. So, Jawin, it's just um your README. I think that's all we're good. I think I've opened it already. I've opened some issues. Just the README. Just the README. Only was the finishing of work now. Even do package structure. Last minute. Okay, that cranked me up real good. It's in the last minute README from cloud. Okay, all right. I mean, it counts. The problem now is the README assumes this will give an error. This space would give an error. This space would definitely give an error. That's you're not supposed to have that space. Wait. Before I conclude. No. He's passing a parameter. He's passing the parameter as stick description. Oh, is my guy, the stick guy. That's God. One person of you make mistake, and I go leave him. Since when we did all those stick things, he has always been referring to robotic arms as stick. So he's passing a parameter saying clone the repository into this. So sorry, that's not a mistake. So it's going to clone into that. The only problem is this will still give an error because his command is cloning. It's not cloning the Git per se, it's cloning the website, like this page. Let me show you. Hopefully, let's go back a bit and let's call this Oni. Let's just make a directory for Oni, and let's go into that directory. And if we do this, let's see what happens. It works. What do I get? Yeah. Solid stuff. Okay, so it actually works. Actually, I mean, I later realized that it's a parameter and it's cloning into this. So, the only problem is this is generic. This assumes you have one ROS workspace. I mean, what is implying is make a directory called your ROS workspace, cd it, and then you go into the workspace, you do all of this, you do all of that. It works, yeah. But this assumption is that you have a workspace called ROS2 workspace where you have all your projects there. So if you realize on my own PC, I have workspaces scattered everywhere. Why? Because I work with different requirements at different projects. So I would not want everything to be in one workspace called ROS2 workspace. It's everything is just going to conflict or whatever. I don't have strength for dependency management. So I just create workspace per project. So that's something you should think of. If I should run this, let's follow just his instructions. Right? Let me delete everything that is here. And so if I run his instruction, I'm guessing it's going to work. I'm guessing it's going to work because it looks okay in my eyes. Okay, it worked. Good. So this is where the problem is. This is where the problem is. Okay, Aha, the problem is we are no more working here. Like, we've gone out. So this is where we are. We are in this ROS2 workspace, right? We are no longer in our assignment workspace. So a lot of things are actually gone haywire. A lot of things has twisted. Now, what if the problem with this is his package is assuming everybody have a general workspace, right? But even if I have a general workspace, right, I have some things in my workspace already. So you're just basically adding more to my workspace. It would work, it might not work. I don't know. I don't swing that way. There are different ideologies in ROS. So uh this is correct by the books. It doesn't run because I don't have strength to debug this ideology of having a general workspace. So what you can do is, I'll allow it. Instead, I will run your projects the way I prefer to run it. Let me go back to Oni. CD Oni. Nothing there. So let me run my git clone. I pray your remaining code is not dependent on like hard-coded URLs or hard-coded locations, because that's where I would begin to freak out. ls ls, so I can make directory source. I would move tags into source, ls, and then I'll call compute. It works. I will source. I'll source install, set up the bash. Then I will run my visualization code. Model, I would go from, so this is the thing. He's not using an absolute directory. He's not using pwd. He's not using that, because he's assuming that we are in this home workspace. Like, some things will be off, so I won't fault him for that. I'll just have to write it my own style. pwd / source / tax /urdf / stick, and it looks impressive already. It looks magnificent. But it's just like the tower. Double up, stack it up, twin tower. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, let me do this. Just like what it looks like. Just look. Okay. Now let's see if the joints are working. Randomize. That responded well. Okay, it's responding well. It's responding well. This is nice. It's nice. Okay. It's nice. Should I leave issues? What issues did I leave? Oh, I opened this issue before. Close the issue. I can close it on my end since I opened it, but I prefer you close it. Why? I don't know, just close it. So should I have any corrections? Will I take the correction? It's more like an advice. So read me instructions. Dear Oni, oh, utmost concern. And sometimes I just you use a dedicated workspace for your package as opposed for your package as opposed to Tilda as opposed to Tilda Ross to WS. Yes, in Ross. Battle. All right, so the last person is Sunny. I don't know if he's still on the call. Oh, he's on the call. Okay. So we have a similar case of somebody pushing his entire workspace. Oh no, it's not the entire workspace. So it's the workspace, but he filtered the other stuff. And he has a nice. He has a README. He has a README. Okay. So let's go over this real quick. Yep, I give it to him. That's an excellent work. Sunny, nicely done. Nicely done, actually. Do I have any issue with it? I must have issue. First of all, okay, what are my issues with your repository? The first issue is you pushed your workspace. Like I can see the workspace, but it doesn't mean actually. It doesn't actually mean, because it's not as if it must be hell bent to one particular type of way, but it's not bad. Well, I don't know where your README is. Your README is supposed to be like in the root. It's like when they load up your repository, your README shows up first. But now I think I have to open this folder before I see a README. Yeah. So that's not the idea. I mean, then again, you can say just open the folder, but you know, it's just a better way of getting things done. So, and your README is not detailed. I didn't really use your README. So okay, move your README. I'll have the title as README. Move your README to the roots of your repo and write it properly, because like it's missing some details, and if you're on the call long enough, you probably would have taken notes. So after all said and done, I'm extremely impressed. I am extremely impressed by everything. Oh, Sandy, I just dropping yours. Oh, okay, let me see. Let me see what's in these. Sandy is dropping his. Call compute. You become the repository. This is not the idea. The idea is not to tell me the repo. The idea is something I can copy and paste. So that's not the idea. Okay. Final results. Let's see. These are your meshes. These are your RDF. Okay. Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to take actually. It's almost 9 o'clock, which makes the class 3 hours so far. I just wanna live fast, don't die alone. I can just build on this. It's not ideal, but I mean, I just need to visualize it. Source install setup bash, and then I would run. We are in U, and then the RDF. I can see a gap. I can see a gap here. I can see gaps. I see skies of blue. And these gaps will cause issues when I rotate them. So even if the rotation is correct, these gaps will cause issue. That's looks nicely done. Looks nicely done actually. You just need to, I mean, aside the gaps, and the gaps is just about moving the visual down, not the frames, the visual. So I don't think it should be bad. So nicely done. Just fix your gaps and your readme. So fix your gaps, fix your readme. Fix your gaps. Fix your readme. David said he sent his, and actually he sent his. I was one who skipped it. Just to be fair to him, I have to. His final result looks okay, but I shall not be deceived. First of all, your readme is not. It's not at the best, so I would say readme. Improve your readme.md. Okay, so now let's cd data. So I would git clone tax ls tax submission for okay, this is pretty messed up, so I don't want to build here. I mean, I could ignore it like I ignored the last one, but I don't want to ignore this. So I'll make directory source, and then I would move CMake. I'll move image, I'll move mesh, I'll move package, I'll move readme, I'll move you've saved file with God. You saved file with space, and that's like headache of using the terminal. Save file with spaces. Put your IDF2 and then put everything into source. Okay, and then it's cleaner. So I will now call con build. It works. Source install setup bash, and then let's fire up your robots. Where's your robot stored? It's in source. It's in URDF. It's in URDF. It's in ARM. Okay, your red is a bit confusing me right now, so let me just do it this way. And then random. Oh wow. Ah, impressive. Impressive. That's impressive. You have proven yourself worthy. Okay, so congratulations to everybody that got it perfectly right. Jawin, I think Oni means what David, and in case I've probably forgotten. All right, shout out to the people too that made everybody learn new things. For example, at least people have seen what happens if you don't have your package.xml. People have seen what happens if you have issues or you don't write your README properly. You can see how complicated it gets for for an end user to use your package and all of that. So I appreciate all of you, and then we'll continue our struggle in the group chats. All right. Stop recording.